Selkokieliset uutiset.
So we're going to be discussing certain things. As you know, we have the G20 is going to South Africa. When is that going to be?
In November.
In November.
Thereafter.
Valtamediassa Trumpin sanottiin tehneen ansan Etelä-Afrikan presidentti Ramaphosalle. Se on totta. Ansa se oli, ja sillä Trump asetti korruptoituneen presidentti Ramaphosan tilanteeseen, jossa koko maailma sai nähdä väkisin totuuden ja miten hän siihen suhtautui. Läntisessä valemediassakin Ramaphosaa pidetään jopa edeltäjänsä Zumaa pahempana rosvona. Mutta kun kyse on valkoiseen väestöön kohdistuvasta järjestelmällisestä väkivallasta, jopa kansanmurhasta, niin silloin Ramaphosa on avuton väijytyksen uhri. Näin muistaa kertoa muun muassa meidän suomalaisten verovaroin tuettu Yleisradio. Ja Yleisradiohan tietysti hakee tietonsa luotettavista valemedialähteistä Yhdysvalloista.
Day for the history books today from Donald J. Trump. An astonishing display from him in the White House today. Donald Trump meeting with the president of South Africa and attempting to ambush and humiliate that leader inside the Oval Office.
Why would Donald Trump be fixated on this issue and presenting these claims of genocide that are seem to be very much exaggerated?
But what he did instead was embarrass and humiliate the people of the United States of America.
Donald Trump is a politician who has always focused on the politics of white grievance, white persecution, and that is the same story that he is telling about something going on in South Africa.
Depending on how you see things, it was an example of open house democracy that Donald Trump enjoys, or it was another Oval Office ambush.
That this White House is interested in elevating this as an issue because they think it will speak to their base.
But this is gonna show you, the viewer, how this kind of fell into or was purposely pushed into a Zelensky-esque confrontation.
Valemediasta saadaan kuulla tarinan valheellinen versio, jossa vastuuton ja hullu Trump tylyttää ja järjestää ansan saadakseen omille salaliittoteorioissa pyöriville kannattajilleen viihdettä, jotta he äänestäisivät häntä vielä kerran tyhmyyttään, jotta Trumpin ympärille muodostunut korruptoitunut ketamiinia vetävä ja silmiään pyörittelevä biljonäärien klaani saisi valtaa ja rahaa itselleen. Psykologiassa tätä sanotaan peilaamiseksi. Oval Officessa Trump näytti valemedian toimittelijoille oman peilikuvansa.
Can you explain to Americans why it's appropriate to welcome white Afrikaners here when other refugees like Afghans, Venezuelans, Haitians have all had their protective status revoked?
Well, this is a group, NBC, that is truly fake news. They ask a lot of questions in a very pointed way. They're not questions, they're statements. We've had tremendous complaints about Africa, about other countries too, from people. They say there's a lot of bad things going on in Africa, and that's what we're going to be discussing today.
What will it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer. It will be.
My president will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africa. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it will take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and I It has to be responded to.
Trump yllätti Ramaphosan delegaation näyttämällä somessa ja Etelä-Afrikan mediassa levinneen kuvamateriaalin koko maailmalle tilassa, jossa valemediakaan ei voi sitä sivuuttaa. Siinä mielessä väijytys oli täydellinen.
People are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one.
Video sisälsi Julius Maleman puhetta Etelä-Afrikan parlamentissa.
A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor. The farmer, kill the poor, the farmer, brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa.
Kun Ramaphosalle oli näytetty videot, jatkoi Trump esittelemällä lehtijuttuja valkoisten farmarien brutaaleista murhista. Valemedian toimittaja yritti kääntää aihetta muualle.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One. Perhaps
What are you talking about?
Can we have a South African question, please? Mr. President,
the Pentagon's going first.
What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. Horrible death. Death. I don't know.
But you know that there are
Pick
black
anyone.
people who are
White
dying
South
most.
Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all. I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
Ramaphosa yritti todistella, ettei valkoisia tapeta antamalla puheenvuoron valkoiselle maatalousministerilleen, joka pyrki selittämään asiaa yleisellä rikollisuuden kasvulla. Trump puolestaan oli tuonut paikalle pari eteläafrikkalaista maanviljelijää kertomaan tosiasiat. Tästä tilaisuudesta siis Suomen Iltalehden toimittelija Magnus Brunsberg katsoi asiakseen tehdä jutun paikalla olleen eteläafrikkalaistaustaisen Elon Muskin katseen harhailusta ihan asiantuntijan avulla. Selkokieliset uutiset. Julius Maleman johtama Economic Freedom Fighters-puolue on Etelä-Afrikan kolmanneksi suurin puolue.
Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Ammu tappaaksesi viesti on tuonut parlamentissa 44 paikkaa. Vuoden 1960 Sharpvillen verilöylyn muistamisesta on tullut EFF-puolueen ihmisoikeuksien päivä. Nyt puolue hakee ihmisoikeuksia Sharpvillen muistotilaisuuksissa tällä viestillä. Stadionin täydeltä väkeä huutaa valkoisten tappamisesta. Valkoisen väestön kansanmurhaan yllyttävää viestiä toistetaan tanssilla suurissa ja pienissä tilaisuuksissa. Korruptoituneen presidentti Ramaphosan mielestä se ei ole hallituksen linja, vaan sallittua oppositiopolitiikkaa.
Coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly. We were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around a table and talk about them.
Eteläafrikkalainen TRT World teki oivallisen haastattelun marxistisesta Julius Malemasta ja 6 vuotta sitten.
In the past, it was a taboo to even talk about it.
Because we're the rainbow nation and everything's fine.
You will offend the white people, you will offend the investors. Don't even touch it.
Right.
That's why I stayed like this. But the fact that we're talking about it, and as the EFF, we're not saying we're correct in everything. Right. We're listening, we're engaging, we're debating, we'll be told. once a consensus is reached, we're more than ready to work with everybody to find a solution.
There's a lot of anxiety amongst white people, especially white farmers. We spoke with a white farmer who was tortured horribly. An elderly woman, drills through her feet and all sorts of horrible things. She was called horrible things while she was tortured, and they didn't take much also. Whether it was racially motivated or not, I can't tell. I'm not a detective, right? But ultimately, this woman told me that she blamed you and your rhetoric for what happened to her. So, for example, things like in Newcastle, when you said, we're not calling for the slaughtering of white people, at least not for now. Whether that's a throwaway line or not, to the crowd, this woman blamed you for opening up the gates of hatred and division and racism, and according to her, possible genocide of white people. Respond to her and tell me how you really feel.
She's a racist. You know why she hates me? She hates me because I say we must be equal to her. They hate that. The white people hate the idea that we think we can be equal to them. That's the only thing. She knows I never said there must be a white genocide. She hears me better than black people because I speak in English most of the time. She doesn't need an interpreter. She hears me very well. She knows what I mean by everything. But they hate the idea of equality. That irritates them. That a monkey can never be equal to a white man. They don't want that. I'm hated for that. There's no crime I've committed. I've never slapped a white person. I've never done anything to a single white person bad in this country. Nothing. I've never called for their slaughter. I've never called for their killing. Her torturing, it's crime. After interviewing her, you should have asked Mpho to give you more, or go to the police station to ask for more cases of black women in this country, how they get to be treated by their partners, by criminals. They've got more terrible story to tell than what she's telling you. They die every day. Who called for black people to be tortured like that? Who called for black people to be killed like that? Black girls to be killed like that? No one. Why are they being killed? It's crime. So, because she is white, she must not be touched. She must not be affected by crime. Anything affecting her is political. It can't be crime. They will have to work themselves out of privilege. Because equality threatens privilege. They are scared that privilege is going away. That's why they hate me for that. They hate everyone who wants to liberate the mind of black people. That we are not monkeys, that we are not subhumans. We are human too, and we are equal to them. They took our land, and when they took our land, they said we don't have title deeds because that's a requirement in terms of European standards. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, we have not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't guarantee the future.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal call.
Cry babies. Cry babies.
I'm not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least for now.
I can't give a guarantee of the future, especially when things are going the way they are.
Subtext.
Especially if things are going the way they are, there will be a revolution in this country, I can tell you now. There will be an unled revolution. An unled revolution is the highest form of anarchy. So I'm saying to you, not under my leadership will we call for the slaughter of white people. I don't know who's coming after me. I will not speak for them. But they are alarmists. They are crybabies. They are attention seekers. Nothing is going to happen here. No one is going to slaughter them.
Wikipedia sanoo kansanmurhan olevan Raphael Lemkinin mukaan kansakunnan tai etnisen ryhmän tuhoaminen Esimerkiksi sen poliittisten ja sosiaalisten instituutioiden, kulttuurin, kielen, kansallistunteen, uskonnon ja taloudellisen olemassaolon hajoittamisella. Eli jos Wikipedia uskomme, kyllä, Etelä-Afrikassa on käynnissä valkoiseen väestöön kohdistuva kansanmurha.
Again, in his meeting with President Ramaphosa, Trump peddled unsubstantiated claims of genocide in South Africa of white South Africans, a group that ruled during apartheid in South Africa. It is a fringe conspiracy theory pushed by the likes of Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, and David Duke.
Selkokieliset uutiset.